What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Schoolboy Rollup, the wrestling podcast you didn't know you needed. We're here for another week. It's June. We're almost in July. Crazy enough. School is over for Greg and I. And Nick's still dealing with summer problems now. Right,
Yes.
Nick? You're dealing with...
Frogs dissipated. Total non-issue. They
just
made a big fuss, got me all worried, and I didn't see a single one.
Did you just see them like dead on the ground or something? Or?
No, they were chilling. They were making a lot of noise one night, and then the next day they were gone.
Interesting.
They just migrated? They just moved?
They moved, yes. So, of course, all my problems were solved, and everything went perfectly smoothly with the party.
Okay. That's
completely false. I concussed myself.
What?
Early in the day, yeah. Tried just cleaning up some recycling, like just, in the garbage, and then boom, hit my back of my head on an overhang cabinet, like right on the crown. And then I was just dizzy for like 2 days.
Oh, man.
And, while I didn't really care about what sports were on, because I had like 30 people at my house, I still caught heat from both in-laws about...
Of course you did.
I was emasculated and also had my hosting abilities constantly questioned throughout this party.
Wow, what happened with sports this weekend?
No sports, but my brother, Mark, brought a little tent to set up in the back because, it was hot as anything on Saturday. And they're setting the tent up, and they're like, hey, we need a hammer to put these stakes in. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't know where my hammer is. So I'm trying to find it, and then there's my father. And I'm like, oh, here's the man with no tools. That's what he called me.
The man with no tools.
I'm finding another. Look, okay, that's
the best nickname ever.
Yeah, the man, look, there's people who have fought in active combat. Like, he's a Vietnam War veteran, okay? So, you've either... The pie chart, people who have fought in a war and pussies, all right? All of the men who have not fought in a war are pussies by comparison. But not only that, I don't have a hammer. I have 2 hammers. I found them. They were in a cooler in my garage.
In a cooler?
So it's not very organized. I don't need a hammer regularly. So
you are fighting an uphill battle these days.
I didn't know where it was when it mattered, and so now I'm just further emasculated.
That's...
and I'm concussed while this is happening.
Don't open your doors anymore, Nick. That's the moral of the story.
Your father-in-law needs a man like Rob, a guy who knows how to fix his own air conditioning.
Right.
Rob,
yes.
Tell us, give a little bit more detail on this. You so casually dropped this to me about 10 minutes ago.
So last night it was at 6:00. It was still like 97 degrees. So I go inside. I'm marinating a steak for dinner.
Like a man?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just my chest hair is growing while I'm doing it.
Right. It's growing very fast. And
it's a ribeye, isn't it?
And I'm like, it's 97 degrees out. But no, it was actually a London broil. So,
Oh, okay.
Just to... And I'm like, wow, it feels like the air is blowing pretty hot. So I feel it. It is blowing hot. So I go outside. I turn the machine off. I try and turn it back on. It won't turn on. So then I opened it up. I looked at the legend. I saw that the error code...
How hot is the house right now?
It was like 80.
Oof. Okay.
And upstairs it was even hotter, which is where our oldest son sleeps. So, he had a fan and everything, so he was fine. But, so the legend tells me that there is a thermal cutout. So, do a little researching to find out that...
Look, the fact that you've even gotten this far, makes you a candidate to replace me.
No.
In my family.
I did a little research and found that a capacitor was the problem. So I texted my wife's best friend's brother, who happens to work for Air Group, and said, "Is this a hard thing to fix?" And he said no. And I was able to get one from him. I brought it home, and I put the thing in, and off we go. It was fixed. So
wow.
The cold air was blowing again. All this at like 9 o'clock at night, and it was still friggin', 93 degrees.
Kim must have been like, you must be held in such high regard right now.
I certainly am.
Getting that done. Way to go.
Thanks.
Walking on sunshine.
Well, I'm totally just always walking on sunshine. Whenever you're a candidate to replace somebody in their family, life is good.
Nick, I think we're supposed to get together tomorrow, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Yeah. Now that the heat wave's over and it's going to rain, like, let's have a quick pool.
Are you guys doing nighttime?
But I feel like there's a chance
pool?
you might not be there, Nick. Like, you might not be there tomorrow. I might walk in and see Rob. Like, it went down that quickly.
Did you guys hear? I fixed my own air conditioner, and now I have replaced all of you as husbands.
I'm there just handing hammers to all the people that need it.
Rob has inherited everyone's Father's Day cards.
Just building like a balcony, like in your backyard. Like, why not?
Super hairy.
That's what happens every time you use something manly.
It's just
another
hair
grows.
Just grows right out, right on the chest.
That's going to be our new shirt. Super hairy.
Super hairy.
Fix things. Wreck homes.
Are you? It's like that Brock Lesnar shirt. Fix things, whatever. Wreck home. I don't know. Are you guys actually getting together tomorrow for a nighttime swim?
Yes, this has been a planned happy hour for like months, and we just haven't been able to figure it out
for at least 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard like, oh, we're getting together with Nick and Neoma for like at least 3 different weekends.
That's cool.
But
we'll make it happen on a 78-degree day where it's threatening rain most of the day.
That's when the frogs will come back.
Listen,
if they do, I'm killing them. Just for content.
I'm killing them.
We'll get it on video. We'll post it.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't do that, PETA. We're just kidding.
We did have a question from our audience.
Oh, yeah?
This week, yes. And the question, right? I thought so. The question came from, I don't remember what the name was. Do you recall? Doesn't matter. They said,
Neymar?
What? Neymar asked us, do you guys actually plan on killing frogs?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Are you sure this isn't like PETA undercover?
It might have been.
But also about 30 seconds ago, I admitted to wanting to kill frogs. So I'm already guilty of attempting.
When there's smoke, there's fire.
But I feel like I can cover for us guys, because I want to let you know, while we have the man with no tools, eager to kill some frogs.
Tool fed. I just saw that.
I would not even dissect a frog in 7th grade back in the day. Everyone was dissecting the dead frogs in biology.
Yeah.
Not Greg. I wasn't willing to do it. A little too squeamish. So.
And you turned into a darn science teacher.
I did. So, Rob, you might be replacing me as well.
Taking my family, taking Greg's job.
How many jobs can I have?
I mean, dude, he's wearing a lover boy hat and he's just replacing us.
It was written. Sidebar of the whole dissecting of the frogs thing. I don't remember. I guess it was 7th grade, right? And I remember seeing the frog on the tray. And you want to know something extremely disgusting? When I cut that bitch open, it sprayed, and some of it went in my mouth.
You never forgot that.
Never. It was absolutely disgusting.
That stays with you. I mean,
that's very unmanly of you, Rob. I think you're back to living in your own house.
But Nick, you didn't let me finish. I swallowed it and smiled.
Damn.
Oh wow. You nasty dude.
You
That's too much. I don't know what direction this podcast is going in.
It's going somewhere.
We are no longer wrestling. Like, we are after hours.
Wrestling with our demons.
I I was cool with the earthworm. I think that's where I drew the line on the dissection.
Because you
Earthworm
don't
was
think of it as having like a soul, but the frog does.
Where they get all these frogs?
frogs.com.
Frogs.
Our new sponsor, frogs.com.
What's up, frogs.co?
Hey, have you been looking for a frog? So you'll want to go on frogs.com where they've got a wide selection of every kind of frog you need in any variety. Frogs.com, proud sponsor of Schoolboy Rollup.
Just to prove your point, frogs.com is actually real. So if you're interested, and you can even get 2.5% back if you're using Rakuten, guys. So that's pretty sick. It's for sale.
So
Maybe we should buy it.
we should look into some frogs.com. Maybe that's
Ribbit.
that
How
should be
crappy
our
are
official
frogs
website.
as an entity that
Frogs.com.
nobody wants that website.
Ribbit.
That's where we guide everyone to go. Hey, come follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and visit our website, frogs.com.
Frogs.com. Just totally off brand.
Totally off
Backslash
brand.
no
Amazing,
tools.
amazing URL. That's
Frogs.com / Schoolboy Rollup.
right. Longer than just the .com.
How can we make it longer?
I mean, I actually think that's hysterical if we owned frogs.com.
We might need to buy it.
Like, what's your business? Oh, we're a podcast. We're called Schoolboy Rollup. We focus on wrestling. Oh, so what's your website? Frogs.com.
How much could frogs.com actually go for, you think? We should make it. I can make an offer. Should I make an offer?
Go for the offer right now.
$50?
Yes.
No,
Approved.
start lower. It's available.
$250.
I'll do $15.
$15.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Your offer does not meet the seller's minimum offer amount of $935,000. What an arbitrary amount, first of all.
Property,
But, like, why not just round up to $1 million?
Sitting on frogs.com for years
Yeah.
looking to pay off his house.
Yeah.
This is
He's like,
when the guy brought up like all
I'm
the
only
different
10
possible
grand
names.
deep on these GoDaddy fees.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to turn it into 900K.
935, just to be specific. Like what?
It's like when that guy, we could look up the name, the guy who was banking on the Washington Redskins football organization changing team names. So he bought up every domain of possible team names they were looking at the time and was just holding that over their head.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh no, I was just holding that to reserve them for you once he caught bad press. But all right, so just for those of you that are tuning in, even though this is a podcast and you start at the beginning, frogs.com, we did put a bid in for frogs.com. Unfortunately, we did lose after putting down a bid of $15. Yeah. We are only $934,985 short right now.
It's easy to make up. We can get there. We'll get there. We'll start a GoFundMe.
We could get it from
oh man,
WrestleMania 18 champion Jazz.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't know where you were going with that, but I'm glad that's where you went. Jazz. Greg, you and I both said Jazz's haircut has turned out to be pretty nice over there.
It's not terrible. I got some stuff going on back here, but right now,
Nick's looking quite dapper tonight. Pretty handsome.
He looks great. He looks great.
This is the most awake I think I've looked on this show.
He's got the Mariana Rivera shirt on. I mean, what else could you want?
Yeah, no, he's had a nice blow up because when we've been ending these podcasts, once we kind of like all sign off, Rob and I have had some lengthy discussions about Nick and his appearance and his haircut.
Yeah,
it's behind his back. But Nick, we want to let you know we take it all back. You're a beautiful looking man tonight.
Thanks, guys. I'm trying to, people do have to look at us. So
oddly enough, Greg, you and I on a few occasions also had mentioned that we didn't think Nick had any tools. So
now you know for sure.
And now we know for sure.
Now you know for sure. I got nothing.
Yeah, no, that's why I put down and below, like, I'm a fan of tools. Like just any tool. Like the band, big tool guy. Yeah. Listen to them a lot. That's the vibe I give off with my 1980s San Diego Padres hat. Just huge Tool fan. Rob, I got to ask you though, being the person that is so handy, what do you think is the best tool in your arsenal? What's
Like
the number one tool?
the most like, well, I mean,
Rob, what is the best tool out there?
you got to have a hammer drill.
Do you?
Yes,
Why?
because it drills holes like butter. Drills into concrete. It drills in everything.
I think I'm just gonna
That's
go
how
with
you
both.
hung a TV in your basement.
That's
or hung
how
that
that's
mirror
how I
behind
hung.
you?
That's how I hung all three, both TVs and the mirror. Yes,
Wow.
Damn.
gotta have a
So-
hammer drill.
Hammer drill.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip Nick in this. I'm just gonna go with good old fashioned wrench.
Wrench, like an adjustable wrench or like like a one size wrench.
Don't question me.
Okay.
Rob, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Okay.
I know nothing about wrenches. No, it's got to be the adjustable wrench.
You gotta
right?
have the adjustable.
adjustable. Like, what is this? 1903? We're going to adjustable wrench.
Good wrestling weapon, by the way. Plumber's wrench.
Plumber's
Yeah,
wrench is
exactly.
excellent.
Oh yeah, that thing's a monster.
That's just pure steel.
How many matches do you think are going to end this weekend due to a plumber's wrench shot?
The Cody
Over,
Rhodes
under-
one.
Over under 2.5 matches.
Under only Cody.
What if every match just ended in plumber's wrench?
That was the only way a match could end.
That would be like one of their terrible.
And
like,
guess what? It would be a sponsored.
Yeah,
plumber's-
yeah.
this
This is our
wrench is
craftsman
brought to you by Prime.
craftsman wrench.
Oh my gosh, he hit him with the craftsman. Exactly.
The craftsman. Oh man.
Oh, he just took a shot from the Wheatley wrench.
The Wheatley, it just disintegrates.
It's not an unrelated sponsor. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my fault.
Like the fireball ladder. It's the
Yeah.
Wheatley wrench.
Who do you think would sell the wrench the best?
Are we talking?
Man
Are
or
we talking wrestlers specifically this weekend, or just any wrestler?
any
Are you talking
wrestler?
about who can best advertise the wrench and sell the most
That could be
wrenches?
it.
Mm.
If we're saying who's going to
That's
sell
a
the
good
wrench,
that's a good question, Niggy. Right over my head, but I got you.
Yeah,
I didn't even hear the question. Should we go back or move forward?
I think we should rewind 10 seconds. Who do you think will sell the wrench the best? Nick?
I mean,
No, ask your question.
yeah, who's gonna sell the wrench? Who's gonna sell the wrench the best?
But sell
Who's
it.
gonna sell the most?
Yeah, who's
wrenches?
gonna sell the most wrenches?
Jey Uso.
He just says wrenches.
There's 2 wrenches in the hair.
Yeah.
Just fixing things. People are just throwing things at him, and they're just getting
Yeah.
fixed.
That's what they should have been throwing in the ring with the NWO in the beginning, with like all the trash, just throwing wrenches in.
I think if we're talking like actually selling products of wrenches right now, main event Jey Uso will be your number one salesperson. If we're talking in wrestling terms of who's going to sell it the best all time, I'm going with 2004 Eddie Guerrero. You ever see that match he had with JBL where he just got busted so open?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just boatloads of blood.
Yeah.
It's, as a guy who doesn't like to dissect frogs, it was pretty rough to look
I
at.
bet that must have, and that was at that same time around. You know, we're only 7 years later or so.
Same time period.
Same time period.
Could
You're
have
out
been
of college.
2018 or it could have been 2025. You know,
Could have-
same time period.
Could have been. I think I'm going with New Jack. New Jack he had the grater on the head how many times?
It's very true. It was a pretty gross looking forehead.
It was. And then
Do you think having a forehead like that that makes you a little bit more manly? Like, Rob, do you think you need that forehead?
if I want to really take the replacing of other people in their homes to the next level, I probably need that forehead.
And likewise, Nick, do you think the only way to keep your marriage afloat right now and keep Rob out of your house is to get the New Jack forehead?
Yeah, I think we're gonna start selling them as part of a hat.
The dude, it's just right here. It's like all nasty. Instead of the logo, it's just nasty skin. It's like a game worn jersey, like a little piece you get on a baseball card or whatever. We're just putting like dead skin on the front of a hat here, and then
we are super weird tonight.
yeah, a little bit,
A little bit super weird, super hairy.
super tool, right? All right, well,
Absolutely.
I think we've spent enough
my
time
favorite
on.
subway.
All right. That's enough of that crap.
There you go.
I am curious though. Speaking of crap,
Yes.
there's been some word going around that Ric Flair. Now this just might be a dirty rumor, which is it. It probably is, but you never know with this guy. That he is literally pooping himself at bars while he's getting, Ric Flair hammered like, Ric Flair is known to do. Are we buying or selling that this is actually happening? Nick, buy or sell?
I'm buying it. I'm buying it because I need this to be a remix of Ric Flair drip. There needs to be a Ric Flair drip remix about him having the runs in various Tampa restaurants.
I agree.
Yeah. Listen, you're talking about the Rolex wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, going up and down the road, pooping his pants. I can't buy it, guys. I'm not going for it. I don't think Ric Flair's doing it. I think if he's getting that level in the bar, while Ric Flair's no spring chicken, I think if anything, this is a number one incident. If you told me he's peeing himself, I'm buying. Pooping, that's not Ric Flair's style. He's classier than that. He's not doing that on his snakeskin shoes.
I think my biggest...
All right, Rob, tiebreaker.
Well, I think my biggest question is, and I don't want to get, too disgusting about this, but like, how do we know, like, how has this been substantiated?
Rob wants like poo verification.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going?
How do we not know that he's just not ripping nasty ones?
Okay.
Like, that's definitely possible. He's an old man. Like, he probably can't control himself that well.
So Rob, undecided needs more evidence.
Rob, real quick. Rob, to follow up on this,
like, how do we know he's not farting?
Yeah,
not to go too far with this.
Yeah.
But in place of our Dave Meltzer quote, here's the quote that came out that started all of this.
Okay,
is once again, we have to take this for what it's worth. But a man posted in like the Tampa Reddit, and it said, "Does Ric Flair keep coming to your restaurant and shitting himself?" Man, he's done this like 6 times this year, drunk ASF at bars and other restaurants. He gets thrown out of Water Street places all the time. Anybody in the service industry having to deal with this too, at which point more than one person was like, yes, this is a problem. So yeah, Tampa Reddit might just be spreading.
They're either highly coordinated and sarcastic, or this is a thing.
Gun to my head, yes, he's doing it.
I'm not buying it, guys. Don't fall for everything.
Don't fall for everything.
Way we'll revisit this story is with hard evidence.
Or is it soft evidence?
Damn.
Damn. That was a great Farouk, man. That was awesome.
It was.
Damn. Oh, man. Well, I don't know. But speaking of promos, Ric Flair, great promo, right? Even still in his old age.
Yeah.
Even with shit running down his legs, he's still a great promo. Now, I saw a lot of different opinions online since, what was this, last Friday?
Yes.
Of the Cena promo. I absolutely loved it. I was kind of half asleep on my couch when it came on, and by the time it was over, I was fully awake because I was that jacked up about it. I thought it was awesome. Greg, what did you think?
Put some wind back in your sails.
Put some wind in my sails. Yeah, I'm a as you would say, I'm a slut for anything like somewhat nostalgic wrestling based. And anytime you're calling back to a great moment, I'm usually for it. So
Yeah, this is true. Like you'd
yeah,
be so excited if they like made it like new Four Horsemen tomorrow.
yeah.
Oh, we got new Four Horsemen.
With
It's Ron Killings.
yeah,
And,
Ron Killings is a Four Horsemen would be awesome.
did I like the promo? Absolutely, because it like taps right into nostalgia. It was cool to see that it was the opposite way around this time with Cena giving it to CM Punk. But I mean, if we're really going to dissect it, it was fun to like hear him go through it and do his rendition and like give a shout out to Matt Cardona and Claudio Castagnoli. But it went really, really long. And CM Punk just had to sell.
Agreed.
Right, that was the weirdest part of
He
it.
had to sell this for over 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It was
bringing a ref to check on him. He's just sleeping.
He's just
It-
sweeping.
it was so long. And then I have to address it. I have to address it now. The product placement.
Oh,
What are we doing, people? Now the tables are sponsored. So when
Yep.
you go through a table, you're just looking at the Slim Jim logo above their head. I mean, that to me took away from it in a big way. It's just, what are we doing once we're branding the tables? Like, yes, apron makes sense to me, but tables, ladders, just now we're getting
Chairs.
into anything that's a weapon.
I thought we were okay with the Slim Jim table because it half makes sense. Because you snap the table.
I get that. I get that you snap it, but in that moment, like if it's a TLC match, sure, sponsor the tables, but like you just pull the table from under the ring, and that's all. I mean, we always have to suspend wrestling belief as is, but now you're pulling out a table that just has the Slim Jim logo on it. It feels too corporate and contrived.
dirty.
or dirty.
It feels
Yeah,
it feels
it's dirty.
dirty, man. It just feels dirty. I don't like
Look,
it.
this is
what
good.
do you think
This is
about
good.
Mr. Punk?
Cena's great. I love it. What's not to love? The promos side by side and some shorts I've seen. Fantastic how much it paralleled. What's not to love here? This is Cena breaking out on his own. Totally drifted away from any of this rock BS from back at Mania. You're not even thinking about that anymore. And Punk is yet again and once again in one of the best rivalries of the year. So awesome. Nothing to not be happy about.
That's a good point, Nick, about
Mm.
Punk. No matter what you want to say about the guy, and I love Punk, but he kept on just being in the top spot no matter who he's facing. I think it's a real testament to, literally just how much star power he has. So, I don't know.
Do you love CM Punk as much as you love Goldberg?
I don't know if I would love Goldberg as much as I do if he didn't wear that shirt.
Right. He's trying to sell as many of those shirts as possible. He's going to wear it every second.
And Greg, I guess I know where you're going with this. Like, you watch that interview with Michael Cole, like this sit down interview in front of the window. Like, I'm
Yes.
guessing, I don't know if that was Atlanta in the background or not. I'm assuming it is because that's where his match is taking place. And he's having a serious interview and he's wearing that freaking shirt. And it's just, it's beyond comical.
You can't take him serious when he's wearing his cartoon over the top shirt that looks like a character that you would get made in like Times Square, New York City.
Yeah.
You can't
Wait,
take that serious.
stand there for a minute. Let me
I
draw
can't
you.
believe we didn't say that when we were talking about this shirt. That is what it looks like.
That is
One of those caricatures.
accurate. He just needed the sunglasses to just pull it all off,
This story match, everything is so weak that even after the interview was over, Michael Cole had to be like, "Oh, by the way," I asked him like, "What happens if you win?"
Yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, wouldn't that be funny?"
Wouldn't that
Yeah, he's
be?
like, would that be an interesting predicament? And you're like,
Yeah.
And the best
Goldberg's
yeah.
Goldberg's not
We
saying
forgot to
interesting
bring up the
predicament.
fact that you might win in this interview because there's just no way it's
the
happening.
best part too is you can imagine Goldberg saying that. Well, wouldn't that be interesting? Like, nah, Goldberg.
Well, then we'd have to see who's mine next.
Who's mine? Who's next? Are you guys feeling the same way I am about this? Like, I really think Goldberg's gonna win and then immediately be cashed in on.
That'd be dope. That
No,
would be dope.
I think the cash in has to happen on Cena now. After my amazing prediction for Seth Rollins that I was partially right on,
You were.
and that's all we're going to emphasize. I'm just going to take the Trump approach, not going to focus on what I was wrong on. The Seth Rollins prediction that I was partially right on, because I'm a genius at this.
Yep.
I don't see him cashing in on Gunther or Goldberg. I think it's going to involve John Cena or CM Punk or Cody Rhodes, and it's going to be at SummerSlam. That's the new thought.
Okay.
That's my new thought there. So
I find
Updating.
the briefcase to be more distracting this year than ever for some reason, and I think it's
It's Seth Rollins' entire character right now.
and Paul Heyman's just like carrying it and like holding it. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I just want it over with.
What do you think about Paul Heyman getting yet another nickname?
What was it? I forgot.
They're going to call him the Oracle.
Yeah, the Oracle. Right. Yeah. That's. Come on.
Just add it to the list.
all right. So
Greg, where's Greg
I'm going
going
to say
here?
right now, as great as this faction that they put together is on paper, hasn't done much yet.
No.
Feels pretty boring. Doesn't feel like Paul Heyman's best work. Seth Rollins is talking, but he's not talking in any direction.
Do you want to know?
Something needs.
You want to know how good this faction is? It doesn't have a name still.
It doesn't need a name.
It doesn't need it.
You don't need direction, Rob.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you
The Paulies.
the Oracles.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, but on Busted Open, Bully Ray was saying that he thought that Paul Heyman looked completely uncomfortable on Monday in his, like, just the way that he was presenting himself. And he says he hasn't seen that from him in a long time because he just doesn't think he feels this character.
I was going to say, I think Paul Heyman's been trying to find how to adjust his character to make it different than the Wise Man. And it doesn't seem like he has really figured out what his new role is. He's a little bit more unhinged, a little bit more angry, but I mean, the guy can act, and it doesn't seem to be coming through right now.
No. But it's
I'm
weird.
not feeling the usual emotion I do with Paul Heyman.
Like, you know, you look at Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, the last two, Heyman guys, and they weren't stalwarts on the mic, Seth Rollins doesn't need anybody to talk for him. So, like, what exactly is Heyman? As much as I love Heyman, he could do anything and he can't do any wrong. But, like, what is he bringing to this group right now?
It's a great question. Doesn't feel like much at the moment. And I think he had a good... Once again, I think he came down to, whereas Lesnar and Roman weren't natural talkers, they could speak. And I think they actually became better speakers because they were so comfortable in the relationship that they had with Paul Heyman, and likewise Paul Heyman with them, that it came across very natural, like friendships, or just someone that was like a close employee that like you're going to work with. But now that's me being a little bit tired at the hour right now, but he doesn't have it with this group at all.
And I think the point you're missing, and the point you made, was he's had one person to focus on in the past, and he can just elevate that one person. Now he's got this whole group. He's got these, and it would work good if it was just Braun Breaker. as his close coworker.
Close coworker. Like, what was that?
An employee. I don't know. We let you go
Dude,
on that.
Dude,
pretty,
I was going
like,
and my brain
we
just shut
should've
off. Like, I couldn't
forced
even
you,
find the
but
word
we just
close
had to let it go.
employee.
I love it. That
Close
we just let him go. He
Yeah,
just,
like a close employee. Like it was so.
I heard
such a
it.
bad analogy, but we were
Dude,
like,
my
yeah,
mind just
yeah.
shut off on that.
I heard you say it. I was like, uh huh. Oh man.
No, dude. I rambled on that. I just lost it.
Oh
I
man,
had the thought and it was gone.
it was gone.
Yeah.
It happened.
You know, like a close employee.
A close employee. Oh my god, it's too good. Oh man, those close employees. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
You never know with them. Let me. Who do you think was? Do you think Marty Jannetty was close employees with anybody?
Yeah, him and Shawn Michaels were close employees.
But were
at a
they?
barbershop.
Were they actually
very
close employees, or
employees.
were they just like? Who do you think is Goldberg's closest employee? Gage Goldberg. Oh man,
Bret Hart.
Brett.
Yeah.
Wait,
Bill
what was that?
Goldberg.
I can't remember. Oh, that you sent it to us, where he's just always calls Goldberg Bill Goldberg because he hates him so much.
And almost similar to this, Mean Gene Okerlund in that segment goes out of his way to try to correct Bret Hart. And Bret Hart's like, oh, well, I'm still going to call him Bill Goldberg. If he has a problem, he could come take it up with me. So, yeah, those are too close. Those are too close employees.
Those are close employees.
Right. Could be friends or enemies.
You never know. You just never know. Oh, man, that was good. But I think you're right. Oh, God.
What? Who? Me? About that he does better when there's only one person?
Yeah, well, you're
Like,
both.
yeah.
You're both right. For
Guys,
sure.
it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It was ruined by my close.
I want to be right.
You know what I do think is really cool, just to kind of, we'll get off Goldberg, but I do think it's great that our boy Karrion Kross is getting some love finally. And
now, is this match only happening because the Dominic match is not?
Yes.
Okay, so an injury had to happen for this guy to get a friggin' PLE match.
Also, yes.
But he's still in it, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, and like,
I would love to see him win, but I feel like Sami Zayn's being booked like as the potential.
Well, they snuck that in, right, Nick?
Superface this year, so we'll see.
They snuck that in during the Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton thing, where I forget who said it, but maybe it was Orton, said that Sami will be a world heavyweight champion at some point.
Right.
So
they don't say those things just to say.
Yeah, it's not a throwaway line.
I will get into this later when we're doing our predictions, but obviously we really want Kross to go over.
Yeah, obviously, clearly.
Now, let me ask you this: speaking of future world champion Sami Zayn, do you think Jey Uso will ever be world champ again?
No.
Wow.
Yes, I'm gonna go yes.
Oh wow.
Dude, his matches like. Are we gonna talk about how good the match with Cody was?
I think we should
Go for it.
I think it was an excellent match. I think that you just have two close employees out there doing what they do best, and that's just taking into each other in the ring, as close employees can do.
That's what close employees do.
Oh,
they do.
Dude, I watched
cutters
the match
off the top
more
rope.
than once. It was great back and forth. It was perfect face versus face matchup.
Mm. Lots of crossroads. You know, even Jay had a crossroads, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
Jay did.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was excellent. The right guy went over.
Well, they had to get us Cody and Randy somehow, some way. So them fighting for what seems to be, kind of an important title again. in King of the Ring is great. It's a great way to potentially kick off whatever that rivalry is going to be. And hopefully it is multiple matches between them eventually for a title.
So let me ask you then, Nick, based on what you just said, I feel like in the past King of the Ring had more cachet to it. When you or we'll call it, Queen of the Ring hasn't been around as long, but I feel like the King of the Ring just doesn't really matter anymore.
No, well, they've made it matter because you get a title shot. It's not just this one-off thing that, oh, you're the King of the Ring. So it makes you a number one contender. I don't think you're ever going to see the thing where people turn it into their whole character because that has been done so well and so many times.
Yeah.
If they're going to come out with the crown for 1 or 2 segments, get their title shot, and then it's over. See you next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we have to look at it in that it did lose its luster over the years. It's not what it was in the mid-90s, but they're trying to build it back up with a title shot on the line that's going to kick off your SummerSlam storyline. So there's something there, something to be had.
All right. Do you guys have a favorite and a least favorite King of the Ring?
Look, if you look at the list, there's a name that jumps out and you're like, what? And the worst to me, and I wonder if you guys will agree, is Mabel. Like, what? Like, is Mabel Viscera? Are they the same person?
Yes.
They are.
Okay. What? Okay. And then, look, you got Baron Corbin, Xavier Woods, Booker T. I think Booker T is clearly the best one of all time.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of what they did with it.
Pretty good take. But like King Booker was an amazing character.
Yes.
Him speaking with the accent as soon as he won and just forming his own court with William Regal. And like it was well done. But I mean, guys, the greatest King of the Ring of all time has to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Agreed.
Giving the 316 promo right afterwards. So
changed everything.
Austin 316 was born. But I would say, to me, looking at the list, second goes to Booker. And then worst of all time, Baron Corbin or Xavier Woods, I thought were pretty bad kings. I was not a fan of them. Billy Gunn didn't do anything with it, but I think you bring up a great point. Mabel as King Mabel, whack. But I think that also sums up like WWF in 1995.
So
right, but Mabel, and then the next one was Stone Cold Steve Austin. You have the worst and the best in subsequent years.
Would it
you got to turn it around?
Would it have been better if he won as Viscera?
Yes, I wouldn't be as offended. Okay. I've been seeing the name Mabel right next to all these other way better performers.
So by Stone Cold, hands down to me, easily the best. I'm surprised. Now, you guys might say, oh, man, you're such an idiot. I never heard of Don Morocco. I have no idea who that is.
Bro, come on, dude. We were 2 years old. Nobody's heard of this guy.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. So he's got to be the worst to me. At least I know who Mabel was.
But it's funny. You don't know who Don Morocco is, but you know who Harley Race is, who's the next person.
I know Harley Race. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, did you guys hear of him?
Yeah. Look who he beat. Did you see who he beat to win it? The Iron Sheik. How much better would it have been if it was the Iron Sheik was the first ever king?
He beat Junkyard Dog, Les Thornton, Pedro Morales, and the Iron Sheik. That's pretty cool.
They were trying to get him over, and guess what? 30, 40 years later, it didn't work.
Yeah. He was released 3 years later.
Yeah.
He was no longer a close employee with any of those people.
Hey, guys, close employees are forever.
Forever, man.
You don't have to be the employee to be a close employee.
No, you don't. You really don't. Okay. All right. Easily. Stone Cold, come on. That literally took wrestling to new heights.
All right.
Greg, do you want to get to any of this AEW stuff? We don't have to. We can touch on it. We can.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson, why are you coming back in dark matches? Stay away until you make a big return. The stipulation that they created for this Young Bucks versus Swerve and Ospreay match, garbage city. No one is believing or buying the idea of Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay being the new executive vice presidents. And even if they were, I just think it sucks. So screw that. Mark Briscoe referring to MJF's part as a small kosher pickle. Incredible.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the contrast of that feud. And that's AEW in a nutshell.
Boom.
That sounded
That
like
was dude. AEW quick minute with Greg.
You know what that sounded like?
Was fire, dude.
Yeah,
I learned a lot.
That sounded like Mo from what was that show back on Nickelodeon back in the day?
With like the aggro.
Yeah,
crowd?
Aggro Crag.
Guts?
Yeah, that sounded like Global Guts DeRosa right there.
I sound like Moira Quirk.
Yeah, that's her name. Whatever.
Yeah, let's go to leaderboard. Mo.
Yeah, you did a.
Do you remember the host name?
Yes.
And
Mark,
I remember the prize name.
Mark. Right? Is Mark?
Nope.
Oh, wasn't?
But keep going.
Joey?
What's the last name?
Joey.
No, you're getting further away. That's Kenny's cousin. It's
dude, if he was on Global Guts, man, that whole mountain would be exploded. God. Oh man, the aggro crag would be in pieces.
Mike O'Malley.
Mark O'Malley. That's where I got Mark from. Father O'Malley. Just different different things.
Coming on to accuse Nick again.
Oh god.
Oh wow, we're gonna get into this topic or no?
Father
So when
O'Malley's
Greg and I
coming
were
up to
close
accuse Nick of not
employees.
having tools.
Okay, so we're going back to personal BS. When Greg and I were close employees at a church, which was both of our first jobs, we worked at the rectory to see priests doing weird stuff and having lady callers and all kinds of crazy stuff. I got sent across the street to Dunkin' Donuts to get them like a dozen donuts, a couple breakfast sandwiches and stuff. Kind of a complicated order for a young kid to figure out. And I like messed up the order and shorted them like a donut or two. And Father O'Malley actually called. And like I work in this guy's house. Like the priest lived there. At the rectory. He calls me from his room in my little office. And he's like, "You stole that donut, you fat little piggy. You wake up in the middle of the night with the frosting all over your face. You're sick." And then he hung up on me.
Wait, he actually said that?
This priest is so mean. And then I'm like auditing the order of the donuts in my head. I'm like, "Oh, I just forgot to order like an extra Boston cream or something." Like, and this guy
You missed out on
who's
his favorite.
supposed to be a man of God is eviscerated me.
Yeah.
You were not a close employee to him.
Even in high school, being a close employee to God, you were still auditing.
You were still
Yeah.
Nick stays auditing.
Auditing since 1997.
Do you think he had to go to confession for that or no? Like you're immediately you're a priest. You can do
He
whatever.
better have. Like, come on.
No, he doesn't. No, he was shunning a thief in God's name, so he gets away with it.
That's straight Bible talk right there. Shunning a thief.
You know what? We're gonna stay on this real quick, just because if very rarely will these opportunities present itself. But
You gotta
working at
take
that
it.
rectory,
Yeah.
I will never forget. I'm working there, and our job mainly was so easy. We would sit there, you'd watch TV, you'd do homework, you'd have to answer the phone. Nick would go way further. Nick would be like bringing in like an N64 to like play video games, just setting that up for his 4-hour shift. But like we were there, and for the most part, it was very casual. Now you'd have to take a call, maybe do a mass card, fill it out, tribute mass for somebody who passed away. I was not prepared for the phone call I received, and I want to say this is probably fall of '99. I pick up the phone. the organist at the time, I'm going to leave the name out of this.
Yep.
But the organist had called, and she sounds frantic. She is screaming, and I'm like, hello, this is the church. And she's like, put Father O'Malley on the phone right now. And I was like, is everything okay? Something along these lines. At which point she tells me, no, her house is burning down.
Not funny, by the way.
Did not call. I don't believe didn't call 911 yet. Called Father O'Malley to, just check in and let her know that her house was burning down at this moment. Crazy stuff. Luckily, her and her family were okay, but I don't know about that house. But as a high school student, I'm not prepared to handle that.
Did she expect Father O'Malley to put the fire out?
No, I think she just expected Father O'Malley to scold Nick.
Yeah, she was like, you let that kid steal a donut, and now my house is burning down because you didn't scold him hard enough.
I love how you're using so many like Bible terms, like shunning a thief, scolding. I need more. I just need more. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, wild tax-free income though. Bang bang.
I didn't see it. I was an altar boy. So while I was not in the rectory with you guys, I was, doing altar boy things.
That's cool. You don't get paid for that. Yikes.
I didn't get paid for that. No.
No.
I just sat there and rang them bells. Ring them bells. And
that's your big moment.
That's my it was my
ring
time.
The bells, very exciting.
You're trying to hit the exact
and then you
just place it on a pillow to stop it, right?
I just put it down. If you were lucky, this only happened like once when the priest gives the person communion and they drop it and you're there with your little pan thing to catch it. Other than that, nothing's really going on.
Did you ever catch a fumbled brewski?
One time.
Wow.
Did you ever fumble it? Like, did you almost make a catch?
No, I was literally 1 for 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You know what's kind of a crazy move? Going up for communion, but you're not going with your hands. You're just doing
yeah, that's fun.
That's crazy. That's a crazy move.
Like everybody else is like, yo, hand me this cracker.
And all the time.
You do the double. You do the both.
Yeah.
That's confusing.
Dude,
yeah, like you're going up. You're doing this,
dude.
Dude, was that some like 1940s move? They're like,
who is doing this? I have no idea how we got here, but I am so glad we did. So
anyway, back to Goldberg and his upcoming match.
Back to people who don't know about Church Goldberg. Right? Well, no, I'm not saying it bad. He doesn't. But that wasn't a good segue. Oh man, that's too funny. Anyway,
wow, we've got
that was a good sidebar.
I look forward to seeing how we run.
And also, like, we only got there because he said you sound like Mo.
Yeah,
that's how we got there.
Mark O'Malley.
Like, you sound like Mo.
Which turns into Father O'Malley somehow.
Yeah.
And I never would have thought about it if you didn't mention him the other day. So there you go. It's too good. Well, I guess since we got this far, we might as well just do our predictions.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right? You know what, guys? You're welcome. AEW led us to this point.
Yeah, AEW definitely did. See, they are good. They definitely.
We need it. We need it.
That's a new phrase. AEW. See, we are good.
See, we are good. All right, let's start with the low-hanging fruit, which would be, as Nick calls, a replacement match. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Gregory, who we got?
Oh my God! Can I just say, don't care on this one?
You do care.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You have any idea I could come and fix everything in your house? You do care.
You do care.
Sami Zayn.
Okay. Nick?
Cross, baby.
I'm going Cross too. I don't know if that's true, but I'm not picking against him.
Do you think in the near future that Karrion Kross will be working with Cody Rhodes to form the tag team Crossroads?
Damn.
That's
like so good.
it's
That's so
too
good.
good. So, what do you want to talk about? And he's just there, like all like evil, and he actually bleaches his hair just for
Yeah,
that
it gets the
segment.
blonde wig.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That'd be
too-
incredible.
Yeah.
Let's go Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Nick.
I'll go Rhea. I just it's a PLE. This match seems out of place. It's not really that much of a heated rivalry.
Okay.
Now this one, I got some stakes on it. I got some London broils on this one.
Oh, I got
Raquel
some.
Rodriguez has never been a threat to Rhea Ripley at all, even though she is, I would say, similar strength, similar build. She should be almost equal, but she is so far behind Rhea. This is where she starts to make up a little ground, and Roxanne Perez gets in her good graces. So for that, going with double R. Wait, they're both double R.
Oh,
Raquel Rodriguez.
you. I'm not going to say much else because you stole my thunder. I think Roxanne Perez assists Raquel to this victory. Rhea doesn't need this win. This match means nothing to her.
Nothing.
So
Zero.
I go Raquel. Our boy, our gyration. Whatever he
doing
says.
it like intensely, but very, very
You mean a
controlled.
little? You mean a little yada da mean?
Yada
Yeah.
We got Solo Sikoa versus the Samoan. What did I call him that one time? I know it's werewolf, but I called him a Wolverine.
Samoan handyman.
The Samoan employee.
The Samoan handyman.
It's
who we go?
Fatu unless they introduce another rogue bloodline member.
Yeah.
Blood bank member.
It's the blood bank.
What type of blood do you think all of the bloodline is?
Oh,
we're going O. It's probably
Positive.
O, right?
Oh, positive.
Oh,
yeah.
positive. Okay.
Mm.
Greg?
for the match, I think, or for the blood bank.
Both.
It's definitely. I'm going. You know what? I'm switching because I don't want to be too in line with you guys. I'm going to go with A positive, and we're going Solo Sikoa with the belt. So Jacob could win it back maybe like a month later, but Solo's time.
I'm going
You got what I mean.
Solo as well.
Nice.
Nice. Nick's just laughing at us right now, by the way, Greg, because he.
No, guys, I've lost in the sauce after my Ofer.
That doesn't count. I mean, you were an Ofer, yeah, but like that was only by default.
Yeah.
It does count. It counts. Wow, that's how we should end that episode.
I'm eating the donuts.
Yeah. You heathen.
You heathen.
Asuka versus Jade. Greg.
I want
Nick, whoever.
Asuka. I'm going first. I want Asuka.
I'm going first. All right.
Because if they want to bring her back and have her like be established and at the top again, she kind of needs this win. But whatever. Is Jade ready for a title shot?
Listen, I think Nick makes an excellent point. Like, Asuka's coming back. Io's got the belt. So it would make sense that you're going to push Asuka. But unfortunately, I only roll one way, and that's jaded. You got your mama style, but your destiny child to me. So jaded.
This was the extended cut.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because it's time. It's time she becomes Queen Jade.
When she wins a title, you have to sing the whole song.
If she wins the title, I'm not singing the song.
Okay.
But he's getting a wig.
I'm doing a full Jade entrance. I'm gonna be like, guys, hey yo, a storm is coming.
Yeah. If she,
Yeah, you have
yeah,
to, you have to
that
sing the
guitar is
electric
pretty
guitar
sick.
like that.
Yeah. If she wins, you got to do the entrance, but you got to wear her outfit from WrestleMania.
Damn.
Anyway, I'm taking Asuka.
Like, wait, on the podcast or just like around town one day? Like, you want me to just get back to you? Like, oh, guys, this Sunday I went to the town pool.
Yeah.
My Jake.
And I was just wearing some really tight thing with my areolas hanging out.
Oh man, Father O'Malley's looking down on you. You are a
Off the screen hat flip.
straight
Turned me
heathen. I don't know. I picked Asuka. I don't know. I have no analysis for it. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes.
This is a tough one.
So in the early 90s, we all watched a lot of TGIF, and after Family Matters, I would say you would just see that roller coaster drop step by step with, Suzanne Summers,
Day by day.
Patrick Duffy, and the Code Man, Cody Rhodes. Rhodes.
Code Man, I forgot about him. What a prediction. What a At least we can hashtag TGIF and step by step.
Hashtag Code Man, hashtag Stefan or Kel.
Wow.
Randy is just the king of coming up short since his return. He didn't win anything. He never wins anything.
He's like
Do
the
you want
man
to
with
see
no
Randy
tools.
and Cena at SummerSlam or Cena and Cody again at SummerSlam? What's the bigger draw for their first ever tune at SummerSlam in our backyard? It's Cody Rhodes. So, I'm going there too.
As much as I hate to say it, because I really think Orton should be the winner of this match. Just my opinion. Cody's had enough winning. Like, it's time for.
I know.
It's time.
He really has.
It's time for somebody else, but I don't think that's what happens. I think Cody wins because, as Nick said, it sets up the match everybody wants to see, the WrestleMania Part 2.
I kind of like, though, the name King Cody, and I like how Homelander and over the top his character already is. Just give him a crown. Like, he's already got like gold shoulder pads and a crown to that.
That's like the Kingdom Hearts. Nick probably knows what that is. That's like the Kingdom Hearts get-up that he wears. That's a video game.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I
know of it?
Listen, I don't play it, but I'm aware of things. I know what's going on in the world. There was Kingdom Hearts. That was the one that had like Disney characters in it, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, mixed with like other properties as well.
Yeah.
What made it interesting?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, hey, we got a new role playing game. We got Mickey Mouse playing with the Code Man. Roll your moves.
So that allows me to ask this question. On Cody's Insta and his wife's as well, Brandy, they are at Disney World quite often.
Ooh, like suspiciously often?
Are you saying they're strange Disney adults?
They might be. Like,
yeah, but they live in the South, so it's like not even far.
But still, like, how many times a year could you possibly fathom going to Disney World?
If you could go as much as you want, how many times would you go?
Once.
I was gonna say maybe like twice a year.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm topping out, like twice a year while my kids are young, and I probably have like some seasonal pass. Something like
pass.
a seasonal pass.
Yes.
I mean, look, they only got the one.
We are awarding the seasonal pass to all close employees.
Yeah. If you are a close employee, you get a seasonal pass. Maybe that's why Cody wants to win King of the Ring so badly. The prize is not only a title shot, it's also a seasonal pass to the Magic Kingdom.
This right here is my seasonal pass.
Is there? So we've already basically all said we think Cena's winning. I don't think we did that match.
We didn't, but like
Yeah.
Punk
Cena,
can't win.
there's no elaboration on this.
Yeah,
It's
no.
Cena.
And I hate to say that because again, Punk deserves this win, but we know he's not going to. So
Yeah. Close employees
him and Cena seem
are
like
definitely.
close employees.
They're definitely CEs. Yeah.
They're CEs.
Close employees, no new friends.
No,
Just close employees.
just close employees. And if you can't have new close employees if it's no new friends. So the close employees that you have, that's what you have to stay with.
That's it.
That's it.
You're stuck.
You're stuck. And that's kind of the way it goes. If I had to ask you a serious question, and I asked it before, who is Goldberg's close employee? You can't say Gage Goldberg.
All right.
Who on the roster you think Goldberg is like, going and having a meal
I
with?
feel like he would have got along well with like Rick Steiner back in the day.
Oh.
Like a Rick Steiner kind of guy.
So by proxy, he is friends with Braun. He's like an uncle to Braun in a sense.
Yes. Like Gage and Braun probably hang out where that
And
takes.
they're like, well, we have similar tattoos.
Do you think he calls him Uncle Bill, Uncle Goldberg, or Uncle Bill Goldberg?
Option 3. That'd be wild.
Hey, is Uncle Bill Goldberg coming over? Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have.
Guys, we should do a check-in.
Let's check in.
Real quick before we go in.
Yeah.
Anything new on the summer banger list?
Besides Gravy?
Young Gravy from 2018.
Well, Rob, that technically works based on what you just said earlier because that was a 2018 song.
That's close, man.
And you just referred to a
Yes,
7-year time span as being within the same window. So
we're good.
I mean, time is relative, so it's all the same.
It's all flat circle, man.
All right. So keep an eye out for the bangers. I think it's.
Did you have a banger to bestow upon us?
I think Benson Boone's going to get a lot of love with the new album right now. I feel like that.
They'll find one in there for sure.
Played.
He's got one in there.
Mr. Electric Blue that just dropped. I think he's having some moments right now. Not necessarily on my playlist, but I think those might be some of the summer bangers. And then,
what's on your playlist? Give me a summer banger on your playlist.
Let's see, guys. What do I got on the playlist? Let me go. Let me go in here right now. I'll tell you what I have.
You sent me, while you're looking that up, you had sent me not that long ago, West Side Gun. Was that? Was that who that was? I liked it. It was good.
No, I don't think it was West Side Gun, was it?
Rick, maybe was it Rick something?
I don't know. I don't even know at this point.
I tried to keep time for you while you were looking it up.
Looking at the playlist, we got some What the Helly. We got some Blessings by Calvin Harris. And then some older stuff like Father Time by Kendrick Lamar. But I wouldn't say that's like a summer jam. These are just songs I've added recently. Don't worry, guys. I stand by Drake and Nokia.
Yeah, that song's growing on me.
Calvin Harris. I'm not like the biggest Calvin Harris fan kind of deal, but I feel like his music kind of sounds like summer though, Like you were chilling at the bar and that his songs were always on. So
I mean, he even had a song called Summer.
Yeah, right. So good stuff.
If Calvin Harris was a wrestler, who would he be?
One of the
Naomi. Face Naomi.
Face Naomi.
Yeah.
I feel like he would be Piper Niven.
Braun Breaker.
Oh, nice.
Braun Breaker. All right.
Well, that's
I'm
it.
tapped out.
Well, I want to end on that one.
I was tapped out around minute 30 once I said that line.
So. Yeah.
Close employees. Don't ever let them get too close, and don't ever let them get too far away. We'll see you next week.
You keep them in the right window.
Keep them in that 7-year window.
You can't
Just
be
close
too
enough.
close. You can't be too far. You just got to be close enough.
Close enough, man. All right, dudes. Later.
Bye.